Hi, my name is Anna Yang. I'm a freelance wardrobe stylist in Los Angeles and a mom of 3. The biggest experiences that I've had in my life that shaped who I am today would be my relationships, ups and downs with my ex, relationships with my siblings, and the relationships I have with my kids. My previous relationship was probably the most violent. It was 11 years of an on-again, off-again relationship. To be honest, very toxic. It was almost 12 years of domestic abuse, both physically, verbally, that I tried to hide because I wanted my family and my kids and even my friends to see him in a different perspective, because I always was praying and hoping that one day he would change. I wasn't allowed to have friends. That was number one. I would be working full-time, and my dad has always raised me very independent, so he even got to a point where I was working so much, making so much money, that he wanted me to go part-time and try to manipulate me and convince me that that was what was best for the family. Another example would be me and my family and my sisters were really close. Like, we're almost like triplets, even though we're 1 year apart from each other. I couldn't even go to family functions as often. I couldn't really talk to them as much as I wanted to. And at one point, he wanted them to stay away from me. Another situation would be any friends that I would have in my life at that point in time. I couldn't communicate with them as much as I wanted to. If I was talking to them on the phone when he was around, he felt that I was giving them more attention, so I had to cut him off. I do apologize for those who had been in my life and gone through the situations with me. I've had a lot of friends come and go because of my relationship and the decisions I made to be with him. When I first met him, actually I was 19. I met him at a house party. I didn't even pay him any attention. He was the one that followed me, kind of was like a little stalker. But we started talking after that and fell in love really quickly. He followed me to Seattle, and I think it just started downfalling from there. I was dating him, and already I was trying to leave him when I first started dating him because I already saw red flags. And I had gone in to get my birth control and found out I was pregnant. The doctor's like, haha, no birth control today, you're 8 weeks. And I'm over here trying to leave this man. Like, what? What did you say? And like, oh Lord, my dad's a pastor, gotta get married to this crazy ass. Oh, what am I gonna do? Landon I had when I was 19. I think I was pregnant when I was 19, 20, and then when he was one, I was 21. So my 21st birthday was breastfeeding and a cake with my friends. Not the greatest. I think I kept going back because there wasn't someone out there that would be a better father when he was a good father to my kids. He's such a good dad when he wants to be. My kids love him. He has a best friend relationship with my oldest, and I think that's the hardest thing, is when I see them upset or I see them sad and they can't communicate with him because he doesn't answer their calls, or he just goes into his dark ways and just disappears on us again. I make an exception and I go back to him thinking, okay, for the kids, and I allow myself to be depressed and unhappy and unsatisfied for the time that I'm with him. I think I went back so many times because of that. I think our relationship affected my kids so toxically. They're healthy kids, they're wonderful, beautiful kids, but each kid, I'm not going to lie, I feel like he trapped me to be with him and got me pregnant every single time. And I felt like that's a lot of the reasons why I'm so angry, because I felt so cheated. I couldn't be a teenager. I grew up so fast. I couldn't even be a big sister because I made so many mistakes during the time I was trying to learn to be a mom. I worked full-time, support for myself, help him get a job. I was trying to find myself, and I think it affected the kids in a way where they see this relationship as normal. My biggest worry is that they think that arguments and unhappiness is something that you need in a relationship to survive, which is a lie. A lot of ways I bring them over to my sister's house. She's married and she has a healthy relationship, and I bring them over to family so that they can see, something happy, something fruitful than sadness, misery, and tears. The final straw for me, I looked at myself and said, what are you doing? You don't deserve this. You don't deserve to be mistreated, to be abused, to be lied to be manipulated. He can manipulate whatever he wants to manipulate, but not me. That night, I listed 20 things describing who I am to remind myself what I deserve, the man I deserve. Right now, I'm choosing to be a different person. I'm not one to be social about my personal life. I'm very quiet with it, actually. Right now, my story means everything to me because it means that I'm not going to go back, and it means that if I can give some advice, if anything, before I open up my business to someone who needs it, now's the time. Advice that I would give women in a domestic violence relationship would be to connect with people who has been there before. You don't need to communicate with him if you don't need to. Whatever keeps you busy. Or for me, besides just my kids, my career, my business, and just moving forward and just being optimistic and hopeful and being around my family definitely helps. I think what I would say to my former self is don't give up. There's someone out there that's gonna love you unconditionally. You're beautiful and you're strong and you're a big influencer and impact to those around you, so just keep going. And you are not the answer to his problems. I loved him so much. When he felt like it was time for him to be a dad, he was a really good dad, but as a partner and a husband, he was terrible. And the crazy thing was, on the outside, in social settings, everybody looks at him and he looks perfectly fine. He looks like a healthy individual that just deals with this loud, obnoxious Asian women as a partner. But I was loud and obnoxious because the only time he was normal was in social settings, and I felt like I couldn't be myself. I was in this shell, and I would just be so angry at him because I felt like it wasn't fair. He hurt me behind closed doors, and in social settings, he was a whole different human being. Yeah, I think I would tell my former self, don't look back. The biggest thing is don't look back.